Hello everyone. In this video, I will demonstrate how to solve cost volume analysis problem, or also known as break-even analysis problem. So in this problem, this is problem number 7 on page number 218. In this problem, we have been given two alternatives, alternative A and alternative B, and we need to find the break-even point. In this case, break-even point is going to be the point at which it doesn't matter whether you choose alternative A or alternative B, they will yield the same cost or the same profit. Okay, so either they total cost or total profit is the same, because total profit has total revenue in it, and total revenue is going to be constant whether you choose A or B. That's why what you have to do is you have to compare the cost and not consider revenue, since revenue is going to be the same for both the alternative. So when you compare the cost of the two, so total cost of A, so this is the formula here, right? Total cost of alternative A is going to be fixed cost of A plus variable cost of A times Q equals fixed cost of B plus variable cost of B times Q. So you equal to cost and solve for the Q, and you'll get this formula here. Okay, so that is the break-even point for two alternatives here. Okay, so so in this case, what we need to find is we need to determine the range of annual volume for which each of the alternative would be best. Okay, so at this before, based on the chart, you will see that before the break-even point or after the break-even point, you should be able to determine which option is best for you. So let's go ahead and plot the chart. So we'll start with, let's say, 0 and go in the increment of 5,000. Now you might think that I'm just randomly choosing these values, but I'm not. I sort of used trial and error before I recorded this video, and I know that this number works best. So that is what you need to do as well, okay, in your exam specifically. So once I type in 2-3 numbers, I can just drag it down and create a series here. Okay, so I don't need to type all of them. So let's say the fixed cost of A, I mean total cost of A equals my fixed cost function f4 plus variable cost is total quantity. I'm not fixing this one because I want this to vary as I copy my formula down, times my this cost. I want to make sure it stays fixed. Okay, so that's my total cost here for alternative A. And then for alternative B is going to be my fixed cost for B function f4 plus quantity times my variable cost for B function f4. Okay, the reason I'm not fixing B20 because if I copy the formulas down, it should vary as well, right? So if you go here, the only thing that's varying here is B21. So B1, B22, B23. So you see that by not fixing it, we are able to do all the calculations very fast. So this is the sort of framework that you need to plot the chart. Then all you have to do is highlight this one and go to insert and say scatter plot with straight lines, and this is your scatter plot here. Okay, now all we need to do is we need to find this break-even point. So break-even point is going to be using this formula here. So let's do it here. So break-even point is going to be equals to let's say whichever is higher that I'll list first. So in this case I'll just use fixed cost of alternative B. That means I'm going to use this formula here. Okay, so minus fixed cost of A. Okay, I should have put that in parentheses. Okay, divided by, so what we have to do is variable cost of A minus variable cost of B. Okay, and I'm going to highlight all of them. Okay, so highlight all of them and function f4. So that's a 30,000 unit. So that's a break-even point, and you can see it here as well, right? At 30,000 units, you are not making, it doesn't matter whether you choose alternative A or B, they will yield the same profit or the same revenue or the same cost. Okay, in this case we are just plotting the cost, so it's going to be the same. Okay, now you know um, now below this break-even point quantity or break-even quantity, okay, would you choose A or B? So blue is A and orange is B. So below break-even point, if you see the total cost of A is lower than total cost of B, so I'll rather choose total alternative A because it's cheaper. Likewise, after break-even point, you see that total cost for B is lesser. So after break-even point, so I would rather go for alternative B. Okay, so that's something you have to keep in mind. Now let's go ahead and plot our break-even point. And when it comes to the y coordinate here, since it's a break-even point, total cost is going to be the same whether you use A or B. Okay, because this point is the same, right? So here I can use either A or B to calculate the total cost here. So let's use A. I'll show you both the ways. So here, fixed cost of A function F4 plus my quantity here times variable cost function F4. Okay, so let's use B. Okay, so here my fixed cost is 190,000. Okay, plus quantity times, say, my variable cost per unit function F4. So you're seeing that you get the same cost. It doesn't matter which one you use, and that's why this is known as break-even point. Okay, let's make a label here. So break-even point colon space, I'll put in parentheses, then concatenate it with this one here. Make sure I start with double quotes as well. That's my break-even point here. Okay, now let's plot this series. As I said, the the chart that you have, they always plot series. A series is a collection of points. So total cost of A, which is blue series, is a collection of this many points. We are plotting this many coordinates, right? uh, so a series may consist of 1 point as well. So in this case we only have 1 point. Okay, so you should be able to plot 1 point as well. And how to do that? Well, make sure you click on this one, the chart that will invoke the chart tools, and we'll go to the chart design, select data. And so we already have 2 series. We are going to add third series. The name of the series should be break-even point, right? And my X value is going to be 30,000, and my Y value, so I need to delete this one here. Y value is going to be this one. Okay, so okay here. Now the point has been plotted, but it's not visible because just 1 point, right? So we need to sort of do some formatting here. So we'll go to the format here, right? And let's see, I'll go to the format here, and then we'll select that particular series. Okay, that's being highlighted, and we'll go to the format pane. I guess I can right click on this one as well and say format data series. Okay, and we'll go here, go to the marker option, let's say built-in. Let's say we use this one and make it slightly bigger. We are going to use the fill color, say this one. Okay, and that should be it, right? Now we want to show the data label as well. So make sure this point is highlighted. Go to chart design, add chart element, data labels. I'll say just add below, right? And then we can highlight this one, right click and format data label. Okay, and I don't want to show the y values, but I want to, I'm sorry, I should have, let's see, undo this one. Okay, this is here. Okay, now it's showing it. So I want to show the series name, not the y or the label. So that should look good here, right? So that shows me break-even point is 30,000 units, and you can always add different elements. So for example, I can add chart title is already there, axis title, let's say horizontal, we're also going to add axis title, vertical. So here we can say it's quantity Q, okay, and here we'll say amount dollar, okay, let's say in dollar. This is how you should be plotting the chart. You have to do this in your exam, okay? So make sure you understand this thing very clearly, okay? So let's write the conclusion. Writing conclusion is very important. So we'll say that, okay, for Q less than 30,000 units, choose alternative A as total cost is lower, right? So if it is less than 30,000, then this blue line will yield lower cost, right? For Q greater than 30,000 units, say 30,000 units, choose alternative B as total cost is lower, okay? At Q equals 30,000 units, both yield same profit, okay? And as I said, it could be the same profit or incur the same cost, okay? Or they are the same thing, because the only difference is the revenue, which is constant, okay? So if they are going to yield the same cost, that means they are going to yield the same profit as well, because revenue is same, okay? So you have to write this conclusion, okay? So conclusion, okay? So this little paragraph, you have to write it all, even though it is very obvious from here, but this will tell me that you truly understood the problem, okay? So with this, I'll stop my video lecture here. Thank you very much for watching.